Greetings everybody. Again, the setup isn't exactly perfect, but we shall just tweak it again. Get that square. We shall persevere. Right. As I've said in a previous video, I've not made many videos on this channel lately because my head's not been there. It's plain and simple. I've had other things I've been doing. So I want to make a vid. I've been preparing one. Things I've been gathering over the years. I'm going to try and express it. Lately, I've just been struggling with that. So anyway, notebook. So hopefully it's not too blah 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 blah. Okay, so what I'm going to suggest is, and expound, is stuff that I've already put in previous videos. The Devil's Signature Part 1 has a good portion of this in, but there's a lot of extra stuff here as well. So, it's about the Hebrew word Baal. Okay, some of you say, shouldn't pronounce it. So they go Ba'ala, which I think is a bit silly. Right, but whatever. This is a study on the word Baal. Now, many people in the, call it what you want, restoration movement, say that we cannot use the word, right? Because they say that the word Baal is, it's wrong to say it, because it's a pagan god. And they just say we shouldn't say it. They also say that you can't use this to refer to our creator, and they use the Eliyahu or Elijah Mount Carmel arguments to suggest that. And there's a lot of truth to that as well, but it goes a little too far, because the word itself is a clean word. It depends how you use it. And YHUH, our creator, the Elohim of Israel, the God of Israel, used the word Baal 3 times at least to describe himself. That's a hard pill to swallow. I can't ignore it. It's in the scriptures. So the first thing is, I'm not saying it's okay to call him Baal, but in some ways it seems like it might be, at least according to the scriptures, 2 or 3 witnesses. And we have some. So, firstly, you get Isaiah, YHUH, 54:5. I'm going to read it to you quickly. Bear with me. For thy Maker is thine husband, Yahweh of hosts is his name, and thy Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel. The God of the whole world shall he be called. Right? And where it says is your husband, check in Hebrew, it's Baal, because Baal can mean husband. Right? The same basic message and thing is said also in Jeremiah 31:32 and 3:14. So that's 3 times, and he's used the word for himself. So it can mean husband, lord, master. It can mean marry. It can mean wife even. It can mean rule and to rule over. Because in the Hebrew thought, the husband is supposed to be the leader, not the modern Western thought that the woman is taking control because everything's been turned upside down. It's a devil's signature again. Okay, so just so you know that. Now, before I even go back onto Baal, I want to change the subject a little bit and come back to it later. So, what is the difference between an earthly government and a gang? Okay, because I can't see it. I'll tell you why. If you look at typical gang members, right? They have a name. They give themselves a name, right? And they wear silly clothes, yeah, or uniform. So they wear clothes, they have a uniform, give themselves a name. They make their pyramid hierarchy, you know, Illuminati thing again, right? And they'll also decide, well, we're going to make these laws, and we're going to enforce those upon the people, yeah, or else. So then you're going to get punishment. Punish. So they make these laws up and they enforce them upon you because they deem themselves to be above you, or else. And the punishment could be prison, it could be a fine, or anything. And on top of that, they're also going to make sure that they extract money. So you're going to, all the money of the people will keep going up the top of the pyramid successively. Okay? Gangs do that. Guess what? So do governments. Right? Check out the word government. It means control of the mind. Govern, control, meant, mind. So a government and a gang, as I see it, are no different. It's just that the governments of the world tend to own all the media companies, so they brainwash us all to believe they're always legitimate. Right? That's one thing. So you've got some characteristics of the government and the gang, not much different. So you'd have a good one and a bad one you could look at. People think the gangs are bad and the governments are good. I don't think they're a bit ish either way. But there's a dichotomy there, and there's a dichotomy of the word Baal, because it's not always bad. And I'm going to show it you. So, Let's write it down in Hebrew first, nice and big. Hang on. Modernish Hebrew, paleo, and pictographic, basically. Right, so, you probably know this anyway. Picture of a house, picture of an eyeball, picture of shepherd staff, right? And it has other pictures and meanings, as you know. But, you know, layers and layers of meaning. So, what do I see with this? Well, firstly, this word here, al, hang on, according to these dictionaries and stuff that I read, means yoke. Okay? As in like the sort of yoke you put on a cow's neck. It binds things together like a husband and a wife. Right? So you got like a yoke idea. So you got yoke. So Baal means, well, B and Al together at least means yoke. Right? But it supposedly can also mean swell and gushing. So let's put that down. Right, desire, and then like a fountain it is wrote down as. Don't know if you can read that here. Might be able to zoom in maybe. So that bit there, a yoke as in binding, something that swells and gushes up like a fountain. The letter ayin, picture of an eyeball, obviously has a fountain picture on the go. Right? And also if you put B or bet, lamed, and then ayin, so you swap it around a bit, that means swallow. Right? Supposedly it means swallow if you spell it the other way around, because all the letters are related with the roots and things. So if you take this idea here, you've got this strong thing with internal that gushes out, fountain shaped, and then spreads and swallows up. In other words, it takes ground. Right? So keep that in mind. So let's go to the meanings of the letters. So I'll just change this because it's, oh, goodness sake, you have to bear with me. I'm a bit rusty, I've done this for a while. I want to get back into things, get back in the saddle. So bet, house, yeah, in, contain, family, kingdom. Right. I have to excuse my messy, slop-sided writing. Kingdom, it's got other meanings as well. Okay. The letter ayin, the eyeball, obviously you got eye. You got watch, experience, right? Spring. Anything to do with all that, it's all related. Compound meanings. Lamed, letter of the shepherd staff, means to teach. Yep, right. It means to and towards grammatically. That's the idea of pulling as well to some degree, because if it's everything's like a positive and negative pole, so you get a to and a towards, the dichotomy thing again. Right? As these kind of meanings to it. Now I'm going to scrub that off because I need space. But bear with me. I don't need to put all the meanings on, but I can explain them later as I come into them. Alright, so you also have the word al. So there's this word now. User translators on, oops, above, over, and in the way there's different ways it can mean that, but you have an eyeball, eye looking towards a leader, right? So if you look towards a leader, it's probably above you in some way, whether it's knowledge or authority, and that can mean authority as well, the lamed, right? And it could be on a pedestal, physically above you. There's different ways to look at it, but it usually means those three things. Okay. So, taking it all together, if you read this word from left to right, as Hebrew is, and plug down some of the meanings, you get the different meanings that it could mean as a sentence. So one I see is this. right? In sight rule. In sight rule. Internal sight or knowledge to rule, right? In other words, they know what they're doing. That can mean control as well. The Lamed, it's all about shepherd staff, control the sheep. You can control as well. So somebody who's a Baal or master knows how to control something or rule something or do something really well. For instance, this is an Egyptian ney, musical instrument. I've been starting to learn how to play them. I'm a bit crap at them, but when you get good at them, people will say that you are a master of the ney. Because you have insight or experience, because that's experience as well, to control it. Right? Makes kind of sense. And also when people spend an awful lot of time doing something, they kind of get married or joined to it. There's that marriage idea as well. Right? Another way to look at it, you've got a family that watches and teaches. So what family watches and teaches? Well, it depends. Right? To keep that in mind though. Right? You have a body or container, because this letter bet is a body, it's also like a house. So like this cup of jasmine tea I'm drinking, this is a bet. It's containing something. Right? So contain knowledge, and then send forth. I say that because contain knowledge, send forth. If this here is some truth and some knowledge, it's contained right now. Yep. So if I hold on to it, I'm restraining it in a way. I'm containing this knowledge, this insight, the eyeball, to send it forth. I'm not going to send it forth because I'm holding on to it. Right? You can look at that as being the Vatican holding on to all these teachings that they don't want us to have. Just an example. You can look at it as the Creator's prerogative to hide certain information, as indeed he says he does, and we have to seek it out. Right? There's that idea there as well. So let's just scrub it off again. Excuse me. So as I've done on a previous vid, I'm going to split the board now. Positive, negative. Right. YHUH, the Father's name. Okay. And then you can have, you can spell it how you want. Well, how do you do it again? Right, Shaitan or Satan. Right, this is Paleo Hebrew type script. That's supposed to be W shape. It's a bit messy, isn't it? So, positive and negative. Satan always wants to copy what Yahweh does, make some counterfeits, twist it out of shape a bit, and blast them out there to muddy the waters, to hide things. A lot of things that are considered wrong and pagan, they're wrong and pagan because of a corruption of something that was true and pure to begin with. So, taking the word Baal, right? Taking that word there, the word itself is neutral. It's often used to refer to a pagan god. Sometimes, at least 3 times, Yahweh used it for himself. I'm not saying use it for him, I'm just saying it was used. The word itself, before it's corrupted, wasn't a problem. So, you got this bet, this kingdom. Yah has a kingdom, Satan has a kingdom. Right? Kingdom. I'll put family as well. In fact, let's just put the B there, I there, the L there. So you got the word Baal there, right? You got kingdom, family. Yah has a kingdom and family, right? That has rules. The devil, Satanism, paganism, the world systems also has their rules, right? So this, I don't need to write it on both sides, but it's the same. Okay, and then they've got the knowledge, the eyeball aspect, right? And there you get the all-seeing eye of Ra, whatever it's supposed to look like. Yeah, Yah really is the one who sees everything, but this is a counterfeit. So you have the true one and the counterfeit one, right? Wants to see everywhere. This has security cameras everywhere. Everywhere you got security cameras. Right now, I'm using a mobile phone. It's got a camera on it. It's got an eyeball on it. Right. So Yah sees everything. The devil wants to see everything because he wants to copy him as a counterfeit. So you got this false vision, monetary system, everything. Right. That's pretty clear. You see it also in the pyramid. Right. Pyramid, capstone, eyeball at the top, stick for control. Same thing. I think the New Jerusalem, the Heaven City, could be a pyramid because you see it in all the ancient structures, you see it in all the company logos. It refers to the Illuminati stuff, which is dodgy. Was it pure to begin with? Possible. Possible, because why else would it be always used? I'm not saying it is, I'm saying it probably is. So, you got the kingdom aspect, the family. Oh, yeah, the family on this side, Rothschilds, you know, all those people who control the world. When it comes to the knowledge as well, there's knowledge on this side with the letter A, and you've got knowledge. You've got knowledge on that side. True knowledge, false knowledge. Yeah? It's all the same. Same for experience. Do you want to experience the true creator in his ways, or do you want to experience the world's ways? You know? What's the other one? And obviously the shepherd stuff, the teaching. On this side, you've got the teachings. You know, what's written down in the word. On that side, you've got the teachings as well, which is not always good. Teachings always do the control, you know, push and pulling, leading, poking, goading. And same thing applies. So you can have the good master or the bad master, the good husband, the bad husband, right? You're going to see this a lot if you look into it. This side always counterfeits things. That's basically what I want to show you. I mean, I've mentioned some of this before, but the whole system we live in is counterfeit. It's Egypt and Babylon redone. A lot worse than what it was back then, in the sense of its spread. When I mentioned earlier, this gushing of desire that springs and then spreads, well, it's like this. You know, he has his teachings, he has a strong desire for us, he wants them to get out there and permeate everything. Well, same for the system. That in modern day context, Baal fits the world system. So many layers to it. Jesuits, Illuminati, Freemasons, court systems, money systems, the list goes on and on and on and on and on. So, let me know what you think. I'm just going to leave it there. I've said enough. And have a good day.